Welcome to another episode of Kurdistan This Week, where we bring you the latest in the Kurdistan region from NRT Studios in Somani. The Kurdistan region recorded its first coronavirus cases this week, and likely its first fatality. As of Friday afternoon, 8 people had tested positive for the virus, 5 of whom had recently returned from Iran, where there is a serious outbreak of the disease. All of the cases so far are in Somani. On Wednesday, KRG officials announced that an elderly mullah who preached at a mosque located in the Somani Bazaar had died of the coronavirus. Federal officials in Baghdad disputed this, saying that he had likely died of a pre-existing heart condition. However, 2 of his family members later tested positive for coronavirus. None of them had recently traveled to Iran, suggesting that there had been some community transmission in Somani. As part of a raft of preventative measures, authorities temporarily suspended religious services, including Friday prayers, at the region's mosques, churches, and temples. The KRG also said that it would provide all necessary aid and medical assistance to displaced people living in the region's camps, in coordination with UN agencies and NGOs. Officials urged residents to follow government instructions and to regularly wash their hands. The Patriotic Union of Kurdistan's General Leadership Council filled 3 important leadership positions during a meeting on Saturday, according to party-affiliated media. Farid Assasard was elected as secretary, Mustafa Chalawi as deputy secretary, and Taban Abdullah Taib as rapporteur of the powerful 122-member body, which is responsible for making decisions about the direction of the party. The move follows the election of Lahur Sheikh Jangi and Bafal Talabani as co-presidents of the party on February 18th, and the adoption of a new leadership structure. In December, the party held its 4th Congress, which was billed as an opportunity for renewal after years of drift following the illness and death of longtime party leader Jalal Talabani. The Kurdistan Parliament opened its spring session on Sunday and began its new term by taking up legislation that imposes prison sentences on people convicted of smuggling oil. During a subsequent session on Wednesday, it passed the legislation, with 88 MPs voting in favor. The legislation will now go to Kurdistan Region President Netravan Barzani for his signature. The spring session will last through June. During the recess, parliamentary committees continued to meet. Homebuyers and investors in Erbil's Korean village development protested on Tuesday, citing unfulfilled promises, and called on the government to launch an investigation into the issue. Initially, there were supposed to be 2,000 homes in the government-built development, and about half of that number have already been completed and turned over to residents. Midway through construction, however, officials changed the master plan, and instead of finishing the project, offered a compensation package of $7,000 and plots of land to the rest of the people who were supposed to have houses in the development. The protesters say that they will build the houses on the compensated plots, but have not been told where they will be located or whether they will have access to electricity and water. Finally, the region on Thursday marked the 29th anniversary of the Kurdish uprising against the Ba'ath regime. This year, however, public commemorations were canceled as a preventative measure against the spread of coronavirus. On March 5, 1991, residents in Ranya stormed and occupied government buildings in the city, which is located 55 miles northwest of Soleimani. Inspired by the actions of their compatriots, the uprising quickly spread to other cities. 2 days later, the people of Soleimani took key positions in their city before storming and liberating the notorious Amna Soraka prison and torture facility on March 8th. By March 21st, Erbil and Duhok and Kirkuk had all been freed as well, before a counteroffensive was launched by the Ba'athist forces. By the end of the year, an agreement was reached where the regime withdrew from Kurdish areas, which had come under the protection of a no-fly zone. Government officials, political leaders, and diplomats released public messages to mark the anniversary and to remember those who had participated. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Kurdistan This Week. If you'd like more information on these stories and others, check out our website, nrttv.com/en, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.